Welcome to the second step-by-step video about using MFis wire to create a bond wire layout. In this video it is about creating a sketch that helps you placing your bond wires. What you see here is the file as you had it after the last video. If you didn't do the last video, you can just load the file. You find it at the same place as this video on our website. Why do we need a sketch? So bond wires need to be placed accurately. We can do this by snapping two objects. Let's just show you this by using the line tool. This is a tool for a single line. If we activate the tool, we can then define the start of a line, and we can snap two endpoints here. But if we see here, there are 2 points close to each other because here we have a very thin layer, the termination layer, for instance. Here we cannot see it well because it's too dark. Let's make it a little bit brighter, like this. Okay. Now we can see it. This is a very thin layer. It has two endpoints, one here, and if we snap somewhere from here, it snaps a little bit undefined, a little bit higher or a little bit lower. This is not a good situation. Okay, this is one reason, and let's now just start doing a sketch. So first let's just hide all layers except this layer containing the termination. This you can do by right clicking here and select one layer on here. Now we only see these objects in this layer, and I want to start lines following this termination on the chip. I do this by using this tool, duplicate face border, and now I select the bottom face of this termination and the bottom face of the termination. There are two. Why are there two? Yeah. Okay, it's so thin, the object, that Rhino sees the top and the bottom face, cannot distinguish. You have to zoom closer and then it works. Let's try again. Duplicate face border. This one, now it's clear. This is the bottom face. Okay, I hit enter. Now it duplicated the lines of the diode termination. I now create a new layer, sketch, make this the current layer, and the selected lines I do change object layer, and these are now within this sketch. If I turn off the termination layer, you see these lines are now in this layer. Okay, so now we do again for the IGBT the same. Okay, this time I think the lines have already gone in the sketch layer. Exactly. Okay. And now we might turn on again all the other layers. And for that, we don't accidentally change these layers, we just lock them. Okay. And now, termination layer I hide, I make it invisible. Okay, now we have these lines directly on the chip. This is good to snap, but it also would be nice if we already have our safety distance indicated here. So we want to place bond wires from the diode over the IGBT to the substrate metallization here. And in bond direction we need to keep a safety distance of maybe, let's say, 1.5 millimeters, and in the other direction here to this board of the bond pad we want to keep 0.7 millimeter. Let's start here on the diode to make a sketch that indicates this safety area. So We can do this using the offset tool. I just select this curve, I click the offset tool, and I can enter the distance 0.7 millimeter and click here, and I have created an offset curve. I just create another one with 1.5 millimeter distance. Okay, now these are closed curves. I select both and I explode them into individual lines like this. I can now just delete the ones which are inappropriate. So these are not relevant. So these 4 lines are relevant for the area in which I like to bond. I now again connect these lines using the connect tool. Now after connecting the 2 lines, I need to select the tool again and connect the next 2 lines. You can also right click, then you invoke the command connect repeat, and then you don't need to select the tool again and again. Okay, when you're done, you just click the right mouse button or enter. Okay, like this. I do now the same for the IGBT. Let's create an offset curve. I already have distance of 1.5, you see it here. I do another curve, offset 0.7. Okay, again I select the 2 curves, explode the curves into single lines, and now I delete the ones which are wrong. So these ones and these ones. Okay, now again I use connect. Here right click to make the command repeating. I connect all the curves. Okay, now these are still single lines. I can again connect them to form one closed curve. So first I have to select these lines. There is one nice tool, is this one, select open curves. Now these are open curves and I can join them, and now these 12 curves are joined into 2 closed curves. Okay, so when you click it, it is like one object. Now I have to mirror it to the other side. So I just call the mirror command and specify the mirror axis between the 2 chips. Let's start here the mirror command, and now in order to specify the axis here, I need to snap to somewhere where there is nothing. So but what I can do is I can call this between command. This let me snap this endpoint and this endpoint. In order to do that, you have to make sure that this one is enabled and object snap. And then I specify direction, and now it's always, in my case, orthogonal. So default is that this mode is turned off, and then you can have arbitrary directions, and you have to press the shift key. But I recommend to turn this mode on, then the default is orthogonal direction, and if you want to do something else, then you have to press the shift key. So without shift key, it's always orthogonal. Okay, like this I've mirrored this curve. Okay, I should also mirror maybe the other curves. Okay, let's get mirror between this and this, like this. Okay, I have it now. Okay, there are other things that are important when snapping, but this I will discuss in the next video. So now we are almost ready. Just we can again turn on the termination, the terminals, and also these ones make locked. Maybe move it up this layer. Okay, I think it's now ready for creating bonfires, and this I will do in the next video. Stay tuned.